Money is something that is ruling the world currently. Without money, life would be extremely, very, very hard for you. In fact, anything, come to food, come to clothing, come to housing, come to health, anything is connected with money. So without money, then it is actually going to be a hard nut for you to crack. Meaning that if you want your life to actually go smoothly in this world, then we must work very, very hard to have this thing called money in our lives. But for you to have money, it also requires you to have some information about money. This information that I'm talking about does not mean that when you don't get it, you will not get money. No, you can have $5, $10, $100 in your pocket. But this information that I'm actually going to be giving you is actually going to give you a notch on how to be progressive successfully in life without losing money anyhow. My name is Jacob, and this is actually my second channel. My first channel is about poultry farming, and this one over here is how we can change our mindsets towards money. If you want to be a member of this channel as well, please guys do subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to give this video a like, and of course share the video to your beloved ones whom you think that this information may help them in one way or the other. Without wasting time, let's dive into the video. If you don't want to go broke in your life, the first thing that you should look for is the skill. Yeah, you heard me right. Look for a skill that you can do actually very, very well in it. Let me cite an example that, let me say you are a teacher. You teach actually English. Be very good at English teaching. Spend most of your time understanding or getting skills on how you can teach English very, very well. Study, read books, do research, and actually be very unique from other English teachers by doing enough research, guys. That way you will attain the skill that I'm actually talking about, which is the first thing that you should look for when you want to actually be progressive in life. Normally, I see very many people after, studying, they get jobs even without skills. They actually want a big pay in the job, and yet the skills that they have is not equivalent to the amount of the money that they want to be paid. In other words, they look for the money instead of looking for the skill. Because when you are in college, you are actually working on your paper skills. But now when you come into the job itself, you need to look for the practical skills in that job. And this is actually where most people, they really, really go wrong. In the beginning, instead of looking for the skill, they look for the money side, leaving alone the skills that they need to acquire, not knowing that with those skills, they will be actually very progressive in life. Even if you lose a job today, if you have the skill in you, you can still get another job, and then of course you will still be moving on the track again. So that is the number one thing that you should look very, very careful when you want to be progressive in life. Number two is that create connections. Yeah, you heard me right. You should create connections with very many people. In fact, if it requires you to create connection around the globe, around the world, do it locally, from within your society, and then from the region where you're from, in the country, outside the country. Make connections with very many people. Because with the networks, once there is a project somewhere, the person will think about you because of the networks that you have created. Remember, you are having a skill. So the skill, and then with the networks that you're having, it will be very easy for people to connect you to actually a job which you have the skill in it. So networks is very, very important. Create them as much as possible. Create them as much as possible. Don't look down to anyone. Create networks. That's the second thing. And then, of course, after the connection or the networks, income will now start coming in. Because remember, you have gotten the skill, you have gotten the networks, they have now hired you somewhere, you will now get money. That is the first stage. And when you get money, we'll now go to the second stage of now building the wealth. This is now where the actual game is that, first of all, try and save as much as you can. Guys, immediately you start earning, try as much as you can to save as much as you can too. Yeah. In most cases, this is where people go wrong. The moment they start earning, they will look at the skills that they have, they will look at the networks that they have, and the money that they will actually be getting. They will not think about saving the money. They don't know that in life, anything can happen. Like, for instance, let me set an example. Like in the COVID, things happen in ways that we even didn't expect. Now, let's say that you have your skill, you have no networks, you have actually been working, but you didn't save. What if now COVID comes? How will you survive? So much as you actually earning a lot, try as much as possible to save money just in case. We actually don't know how tomorrow comes, but try as much as possible to save money as much as possible. Yeah, because you never know, even from your workplace, the hearts of the people that you are actually working with. You never know, maybe one day you will be sacked. And if you are sacked, or if you are now out of your job, how can you now, rent your house? How can you eat your food? How can you actually take care of your family if you have not been saving the money? So try as much as you can to save the money. When you are actually getting money, you will think that that money will actually be coming continuously, year after years. But remember, you are actually growing, responsibilities are coming, years are going, and very many things are actually coming. It is actually not only about saving the money. We save money for a particular purpose. We don't only save that I am working, I need to save. You must save for a goal. Does it mean that every year you need to save your $100 every year like that without even investing the money? You are actually saving this money to put it somewhere productive. We don't save to actually put our money into something which is not going to be productive. Like, for instance, you actually don't save your money for like 5 years and then go home to build a house which is not even going to give you money. This is not why we save money. We actually save money in order to actually start another thing which can actually generate money. Most of these wealthy people that you actually see, first of all, they save. And then after saving, they invest their money in a field which they know very well. After saving your money, you must invest your money. And this is where very many people have gone wrong in investing their money. After acquiring the skill, getting the right connections, earning, and then saving, reaching the last end of investing their money, this is where they make a lot of mistakes. They actually invest their money in things that they actually know nothing about. You know what I'm trying to say? So if you want to invest your money, first of all, you have a field which you are very good at. Remember the skill which we actually talked about in the first video when it was starting. You actually have a field which you are very good at. Like, for instance, I cited an example like an English teacher. The first thing that should come into your mind is now expanding your field as an English teacher. You can now start a school because you have now stayed very many years in that field. You know how a school works, you know how it works. So it is very difficult for you to fail. But most people, in most cases, after teaching, let me use teaching because that's what I'm actually going to be using as an example. After teaching for very many years and then saving very many years, you will find that that person is investing the money somewhere where he have even never tried, doesn't know any information about the business, but you're actually carrying all your money for 10 years, putting it into something which you actually know nothing about. So eventually, it is very, very high for you to actually go down in that business because you don't know anything about that business. I suggest when you want to invest your money, at least invest it somewhere where you are very, very sure that it will actually grow very, very high. Another thing about investing money, when it comes to investing money which you have actually worked hard for like 10, 15 years, make sure that the money that you will be investing is into something which will bring money back to you. Like, for instance, I've seen some people after working for like 10 years and then saving up, you actually go and then build yourself a house in the village. Take a look, a house in the village costing almost all the money that you have had or the money that you have saved. And yet this house that you have built is not going to give you even a single coin out of it. In fact, you will be staying in it, but you will not be getting any money from it. Then this is actually poor saving. You need to put your money into the business. It's actually a lot of pressure. You have studied, you have taken so many years in your job, you have no house at home, the pressure is there, your peers have them. But what's the point of you building a house in the village for your peers to actually see that you have a house in the village and yet you are actually getting nothing from that house? I see there is no point in there. At least start a business whereby the money will be coming out of that business. And when the money is now, at least somehow, you can actually get a house. Renting a house is not something which is bad for as long as you have a vision and then you are working towards your vision. Basically, that is actually what I wanted to talk about in this particular video. In fact, most of the videos that will be on this channel will be actually about money, and then, how to use money or how to actually multiply your money, stuff like that. If you're interested about watching more videos, then do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget, guys, like the video. That's all that you can do for me. By liking the video, it will make me very, very happy. And yeah, see you in my next video. Call me Jacob.